Hey everybody, on a rainy Tuesday morning, and you know, just in case you forgot, I stand with Israel. You know, from the river to the sea, Israel will have victory. From the mountain to the shore, making sure Hezbollah and Hamas be no more. You know I don't play around with that. You know the deal. MAGA and Israel and America, brothers and cousins. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is how the Republican Party needs to change. You know, people say, well, somebody wrote me, Jamal, you make these complaints. Let's hear your Granger plan moving forward with the Republican Party. Number one, the Republican Party stops with, we have to go and do adversarial interviews. Number one. Moving forward, if President Trump loses, the Republican candidates do not need to go on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, or NBC. None of them. We have X, we have YouTube, we have Newsmax, One America News, and other various podcasters and Joe Rogan that we can go on. Well, Jamal, how will they find out about our candidates? When we do our primaries, if people want to tune in and watch, they'll tune in and watch. If they don't, then they don't. Number one, we need to stop accepting that it's okay to abuse us. Just because we expect it, don't mean we have to accept it. We need to stop accepting abuse. We don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept abuse. The Republican Party, since you're asking my opinion, needs to move forward from believing we have to accept or be abused for the American people to see us. What the Republican Party should do, as said, we should not go on MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, no. Newsmax, One America News, X, all the others, Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, all these people. And that's where our candidates should be. Where they will get tough questions, but not abuse. And, of course, our rallies, because the news conference is going to cover it. But our candidates should not go on those shows like what we saw with J.D. Vance and Dana Bash. Democrats upheld Dana Bash. Oh, that's good. That's good. Republicans are like, oh my God, she attacked him and attacked him. Well, he shouldn't have been on her show at all. It should have been a surrogate. Some guy who says, oh, you know, really, I don't speak for the campaign, but I'm just a surrogate. Well, why isn't the candidate come? Because we don't believe you've earned the right to speak to him. I'm somebody in the press. No. He speaks to the press. Well, what do your candidate has a problem with adversarial conferences? I want you to listen to what you said. Why does he have a problem with an adversarial interview? So you're telling everyone you're there to attack him. So why would he sit down with you? You're not there to listen or hear his message. You're there to be an adversary. So your job is to tear him down and attack him. Do you hear that? They tell you what they're going to do, and we believe it and accept it. So going forward, I will be like, no, we're not meeting with CNN. We're not meeting with you. No, I'm here. I'm the subordinate. I'm someone that's with the campaign, but no. You need to earn Republican candidates to come on your show. And when we watch you all year, and it just don't start after 2-3 episodes, we watch you from the day of the election of the last election. So in other words, this year would determine whether or not CNN or MSNBC or ABC get the Republican candidate in 2028 or 2026. That would determine it. And if the only time some people may only get to see the Republican candidate is on the debate stage, then the Republican candidate needs to be prepared. But the only people that the first time them seeing the Republican candidate is on the debate stage are the people that's not going to vote for him in the first place. Because if you are actually an informed citizen, you're going to search these people out on your own and listen and make your decision. That's how I would do it. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and all Republicans, yes, if this was the 1980s and the 1970s where journalists had some type of integrity and there was some type of fairness in politics, then that we need to go see everybody, whether you agree with us or disagree with us, would be correct. I love the Republican Party. Look, don't tread on me. Black Southern flag, Trump, Trump, Trump. But we have to wake up and realize this isn't the 1970s. This isn't the 1980s. We have to wake up and realize this is the 2000s. And the people don't have to be talked to. The people don't have to be going on adversarial networks to hear your voice. They have other ways of doing it. That's why they hate Twitter, Facebook, Google. That's why they try to shut these platforms down, because that takes the power from the press. And that's what we need to do. So that's how I would change it. And Republicans, with more Republicans, would get elected. When somebody's shouting questions, Mr. Trump, why won't you talk to MSNBC and CNN? And the surrogate walks over and says, that's what I'm here for. Well, why can't we talk to him? You haven't earned it. Our listeners, well, if your listeners were true about voting for Donald Trump, they wouldn't have you on their network being an adversary instead of a journalist. So obviously, and look, when people ask me to come on their show, I have been asked by a lot of major people to come on their show. I tell them no. Well, my audience wants to hear you. No, they don't. Because if I see what you spout on your podcast and I see what you say in your newspaper and you're still there and you have an audience like that, then I know your audience don't want to hear me. Your audience want to hear you try to belittle me and tear me down. So why should I subject myself to that? I take control. And that's what the Republican Party need to do going forward. Take control. Make surrogates go talk to them. But we talk to our side. That's America today. You may not like it, but that's what it is. And Republicans need to stop trying to go back to when everybody put out American flags and said, oh, say, can you see by the dawn early light? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. Everybody don't do that. And they vote. So we have to face reality. There are people who don't want to deal with politics, just into voting. And also, let me talk about voting real quick. There should not be anyone voting 30 days before the election. Republicans need to sue each state. Just because states have a right to regulate, as we found out with the Civil Rights Act and everything, see, play their game against them. You can't be extreme with it. No state should vote 30 days ahead of an election. Shut it down. The Supreme Court says, yeah, if y'all want to vote ahead of the election, you can, but we're going to put a limitation on it. 30 days. You want to have voter ID? We have it. But you can't make black people say voter ID and a passport. The same way you can't for the Democrats, oh, you targeting black people. Okay. Well, you're targeting to overturn an election. And that's how Republicans need to be. I know it's a long video this morning, but yeah. And when it comes to abortion, I'm against it always, but there's nothing wrong for Republicans to say, if y'all want abortion, that's fine. Y'all have it. The states don't want it, but you're going to stop it at 12 weeks. The same way they put restrictions on the second, the Republicans need to say, we can put restrictions on other things. Talk to you later.